Hey, my name is Joe Barbarisi, and I'm here at the Cafe Z for another Summer Scares. A lot of fun. It's great to meet all the filmmakers here. My film is Flowers for the Dead. Basically, a tribute to the original Night of the Living Dead. Also, it's a tribute to old school filmmaking. I shot my film all on Super 8, old school. I grew up with Super 8. And it's pretty much all I really know. I don't really like digital. I'm having a little rough time with digital. It's just looks too clean to me, and I don't know. Digital to me is something that maybe record family gatherings or concerts or live events, and film to me tells a story. So basically, that's where I come from. I come from the old school movie making, and when I was a kid, I would make my own films at Super 8. And it's carried on, and basically with Flowers for the Dead, it just started out to be a bunch of series of screen tests that I dragged my wife Linda in, and we went to a cemetery on creepy days and shoot some scenes of zombies. Of myself being a zombie. Basically attacking her, and she would try to find her way out, and we would go another weekend, shoot some more scenes, and basically we would just shoot zombie cliches, setups. So that's why pretty much there's no real script to this film. It's just a situation she's in. She's trapped in a cemetery and she needs to get out, and she gets separated from her car, and so we basically went from there. Where Night of the Living Dead comes into place, I actually went to Evans City, where the actual filming of Night of the Living Dead was. And what I did was I saw the remake of Psycho by Gus Van Sant, I think. And I never really liked the film, but I liked the idea where he did a shot-for-shot remake. It's just the way it looks. So what I thought of doing with Flowers for the Dead to give it some charm, would go to Evans City and film in the same cemetery where Night of the Living Dead was filmed. And I try to, frame the shots where Romero did, 40 years to the day, basically. And we would shoot some scenes just to give it the Night of the Living Dead look. And just from there, we just kept going with it and added some more scenes. We got my friends and I got relatives, and basically we just did it for fun. And it just became something bigger, and now here I'm at film festivals and little screenings like this, and it's just so much fun. And it's just the love of filmmaking, and I'm hoping that someday Super 8 kind of makes a comeback, and maybe people see that the grainy look and the old school way of making movies is the way to go now. Maybe somewhere down the line it'll come back, but right now it's just a labor of love, and we just did it for fun, really. Actually, I am looking into another project. A friend of mine, Scott Blunt, who I met through Macabre Film Festival. My film won for Best Short Audience Choice, and his won for Best Feature Audience Choice. So we kind of hit it off. We're kind of talking about what we like about filmmaking and what we like in the genre. And we decided that we're going to try to make maybe a trilogy. We're going to have 3 films in one, all relating to the same thing, kind of like a Twilight Zone type of thing. My original idea was to remake some Twilight Zones, but give it some modern touch to it. But you gotta get all the rights to that. It's not easy. So we came up with our own stories, and he would take one story and I would take another story, and just kind of blend them all in together. But that was the idea, and that was something that we may do in the future. But of course, it's just a matter of funding, man. It's just tough to get the money together. And there was maybe a Kickstarter thing, but you need a trailer, you need the actors. So it's kind of set on the side, and we'll have to get back to that. But for me, I'm just going to continue maybe with my Super 8. I got a bunch of Super 8 film, and maybe make a prequel to Flowers for the Dead, and just make a short series of films. Just to get, again, my favorite thing is to make the Super 8 films. I just want to find some kind of project I could put on Super 8 and give it that old look. And what's good about Super 8, it ages your film. It looks like you shot it in the 70s or the 80s. It's just the way it looks. And we're just going to go from there and hopefully get something going with the Super 8. As far as like a soundtrack to your film, I noticed that's the last thing that you want to have done. And when I made Flowers for the Dead, I basically did my own music. I had a little portable grand piano, and I just would watch the film and make some kind of score, but I was never really happy with it. So I I went out to look for other filmmakers and other guys who actually score films, and I found this band, Seven Strangers. They're basically their idea of making soundtracks for horror films and really zombie films. I like to call them ghouls. I don't like to call them zombies, they're ghouls. But they're great for making a soundtrack to your film, and you won't believe how much of a difference it is to have a good score in your film. You have to have a great score, and it carries the film. And Seven Strangers, I'm so happy they came aboard. This guy Tom Jenner said he'd like to get involved in my film, and he gave me a bunch of different little tracks. And what I basically wanted to do was have a John Carpenter sound to my film, and he did that. He sent me some demos. I picked out the ones I liked. I said, "This is it, Tom. This is where you're going. Keep going with it." And he sent me all these tracks, and I was able to incorporate it into my film, and just what I wanted. I just wanted the piano and the John Carpenter's sound, and I got that from Seven Strangers. But also, what was cool in the very beginning of making my film, my name in my film was Flowers for the Dead. And there's a band out in Greece called The Illusion Fades. I think there's a great bunch of guys. They're gothic bands, and this guy George DeGaze, he's a songwriter and he does all the music. And he happened to have a song called Flowers for the Dead, and he got in touch with me and said, "Look, could you use my song in your film?" And I said, "That's perfect." He sent me the demo of it, and I said, "This is the perfect film for my film, the perfect setup for my film." I actually use it in the ending credits, Flowers for the Dead. But it just gives a little more, modern sound to it. They also use a lot of their piano work and instrumentals they have in their album called Killing Ages, and I was able to throw that as well. So I had the Illusion Phase, and I had the Seven Strangers, and I did a few things, the stings and stuff in my film. But just as goes to show you that you really need to have a great score in your film, and it sets a mood and it sets a tempo. So I suggest when you get your film done, take your time and find the right music that you want and find the right band, and you have it all set. I want to thank you guys for letting me be out here and show my film, and Todd and everybody, and I'm looking forward to middle of August, where my film Flowers for the Dead will be playing in Montreal. It's called the Mascara and Popcorn Film Festival. I'm looking forward to going to Montreal for 5 days and meeting more filmmakers, and again, it's another film festival. I'm just getting your work out there, and I'm looking forward to getting out there. But if you get a chance, look for my film. It's called Flowers for the Dead. I got clips on YouTube, and my YouTube is called Phenia Films, with a Phenia Films. That came from Quadrophenia from The Who, because I'm a big Who fan. But look for us, and it's great to be here. I appreciate it.